Doug Spence, tell us what's happening with Dirty Dozen.
So, bad news. We've been working hard with a lot of interested parties to try and find a buyer to take Dirty Dozen forwards, but unfortunately we've not managed to find the right buyer. So, no more DD for me and no more DT for anyone, I'm afraid.
And what's going to happen to those people that have booked in for next year?
As we promised, we'll be doing refunds. So, we still plan to do that mid-December, which is not far away. It's just a question of just putting financing back into that account and then processing all the refunds to everybody.
What was it that instigated the end of Dirty Dozen?
So for me personally, for the two business owners, we just couldn't get it to make any money. I think, in hindsight, I think we probably didn't make the best decisions on our spend. I think we got probably a bit too excited with spending money where we probably shouldn't have. But I think we delivered good races, so I have no regrets on that front. But we just never got the balance of the right number of people to cover the cost of putting on the event. So it just financially wasn't viable for us to continue doing it.
And what's happening with all leftover kit?
Well, there's a couple of t-shirts kicking around and a couple of bobblehats, so we'll be selling those. I think they're now hopefully become collector's items, so people will want to cherish them and have a spare. We've got two 40-foot shipping containers full of about 30 tonnes of kit, so a lot of obstacles, so we'd like to sell those to try and get some money back out of the business. And, for someone to actually be able to use them, I think would be pretty good. So we're going to be running an auction process for those, so we'll put all the details out on the website for that soon.
What will you miss about the OCR world and what won't you miss?
That's a good question. I think I'd miss all of it. People are incredibly friendly, very engaging. I think the biggest thing I will miss is people coming up to tell me how much we've made a difference to their lives. For those people that have transformed their fitness or their appearance and they've lost weight or put more muscles, that's been amazing. So that's probably the bit I've missed the most. In terms of what I would miss, nothing. I enjoyed every element of it. I didn't enjoy losing lots of money, but you got to try these things, right? I always wanted to try and make a living out of something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy doing it. So, that's the only thing, is we just need to be a lot smarter, on new ventures on how we balance out the in and out on the cash flow side.
So what's next for Doug Spence?
So I definitely want to keep doing what is termed mass participation endurance events, which sounds a bit wanky if you ask me, but basically we want to keep people getting fit. So I still want to be doing outdoor events. It's not going to involve obstacles, as I said before. We're still finalising plans for that, so stay tuned.
Will you still be doing your masterclasses?
Yes, it's something I enjoy, and the feedback on it has been very good. So yeah, we'll absolutely be running masterclasses going forwards.
And I've seen something on your Facebook about potentially building obstacles for other people.
Yeah, so that came about really through chance. Our first project's with a local gym. They want to get more people into obstacle racing, and they want to be able to teach people the techniques, which is something that I obviously endorse massively. So yeah, we're starting with that next week, and that's led to quite a few inquiries. So yeah, if people would like me to come and build them an obstacle in their garden or in a field or wherever they've got permission to do so, I'd be happy to do that.
Will we be seeing you racing events again?
I need to get a lot fitter. Being a race director, it's the easy excuse in the world to say you're too busy. When you're full-time, there isn't a lot of time to do training. So yes, I would like to come and race again, but it's not going to be until I'm fit enough to beat John.
Anyone you want to call out? Anyone you want to race next year?
Albon, you're going down.
Where do you see OCR going in the next few years?
That's a really good question. I think there's two potential routes. And it might be it does both. So from a business perspective, you've got to have the masses. Having a race for the top racers just financially isn't viable. And I think there's a bit of a mix right now in some places where it's trying to be elite, but it's too elite, if that makes sense. And there's incidents where good people aren't completing courses, which makes no sense. Because if they can't complete it, then it's demoralising for everybody because they're the top of their game. So I think there could be offshoots where it goes sort of I guess, Olympic style and becomes very homogenised and regularised and everything's the same every time. But I don't think that will work for race directors and people that want to make a living out of doing this, because you're not going to get enough people doing it. So I guess, I guess it will stay. My gut feel is it will stay the way it is, and people might start to whine about the technicality a little bit, because you've got to keep it fun. For me, Dirty Dozen was always about, getting people off the sofas, people that hadn't done any training since they were at school. You're not going to do that with super technical rigs. It's nice to have a go at it, but if if it's all mandatory, then you're just going to put people off. So I think my gut feel is it should stay fun, and I think that's the best way of doing it. And if people want to be competitive, race for time. Don't race for courses where there's like single figure success rate on obstacles, because that's just not going to be sustainable, from a business perspective, because you're not getting enough people going to actually want to take part.
If we could wind back the clock 4 years,
yeah,
beginning of 2013, and someone said to you, you could do this Dirty Dozen mark, you'll lose money, you'll have people whinging about you about stupid little things, would you still do it all over again? Of
course I would. We were very lucky. When things didn't go according to plan, people cut us so much slack. I was always amazed that, we had things happen that happened to other races, and other races people would take the knife out and they'd absolutely go for them. Whereas us, people would be like, okay, we understand that, we accept that. I think they knew I was never going to let the same mistake happen twice. I was always big on making sure that happens. So yeah, no, in a heartbeat, I'd definitely do it all again.
And why do you think you were cut more slack than anyone else?
I don't know. People say it's because I tell people what's going on, and that I'm quite open. But just for me, that just seems obvious. Why wouldn't you tell people what's going on? What's the point of hiding? It's something I learned a long time ago. You're better off telling someone the bad news as soon as you know and say, look, we're going to fix it, rather than trying to hide and then getting caught out. So maybe it comes down to that. Any
parting words to the OCR community?
Yeah, keep it fun. For all the times that you wanna say I've had enough, or this isn't working, I'm not enjoying it, remember all the good times. Remember that moments are fleeting, and not everything can go your way. And if you can remember the positives, you'll be much happier for it.
We do have one more question from Andy Parry. He wants to know if he can have your nickname.
Of course he can. Thank you, guys.